In the land of the free, we arrest more people for marijuana than all violent crimes combined. Pick a day of the week, any day. At least 137,000 people are sitting in jail for simple drug possession alone. In America, we like to say that we're the best country in the world. In reality, if you look at the statistics, we only lead in a few categories, one of which is citizens incarcerated.
Why is America not the greatest country in the world, Professor? That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom?
Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain,
Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl.
Just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
And the other, advertising. America is the best in the world at advertising and fucking bullshit. Don't believe me? Pause the video right now and just take a walk around the block. You see so many fucking advertisements every day that you don't even realize it anymore. So in America, we'd like to advertise being the land of the free, which subconsciously at first, maybe not intentionally, conveys the message that if you're not a hardcore criminal, you'll be free. But we're the king of bullshit, right? But I digress. Nearly 2/3 of these inmates are currently sitting in local correctional facilities, not prisons. And it says that most of those inmates are just poor people that couldn't make bail that are awaiting trial. So these studies were conducted by the American Civil Liberties Union and Human Rights Watch. Lead author of Human Rights Watch, Tess Borden, said, "It's been 45 years since the war on drugs has been declared and it has not been a success. Rates of use have not dropped, dependency has not stopped, and we're arresting someone for simple drug possession every 25 seconds.
Every 25 seconds.
Federal figures on drug arrests over the last 3 decades paint a very telling story. In the year 1979, there were fewer than 200 arrests per 100,000. However, in the mid-2000s, that number had jumped to over 500 per 100,000. And now with legalization afoot and half the nation having medical marijuana, that number has dropped to about 400 per 100,000. Defenders of harsh penalties for drug possession say that they are necessary to deter their use. However, despite their harsh campaign over the last 3 decades, now more Americans 12 and older use illicit drugs than in the 80s. Around the country, police are making more arrests for drug possession than any other crime. 1 in every 9 arrests made by state law enforcement is for drug possession alone, which is amounting to over 1.25 million arrests a year. And while I don't like bringing race into things, I do speak facts. Despite black and white Americans using drugs at similar rates, they are not arrested at the same rate. Black Americans are 2.5 times more likely to be arrested than their counterparts. Moving down further in the article now, it says in Texas there are currently 116 inmates serving life sentences for drug possession. Yes, you heard that right. 7 of those people had an 1/8 or less. For those of you that don't know the lingo, that's a little less than 4 grams. And you can chalk this up to Texas's stupid ass habitual offender law. In 2015, more than 78% of Texans arrested for felony drug possession had less than 1 gram. In my opinion, guys, this shows just how trivial and how absolutely fucking ridiculous the drug war is. The amount of resources and the amount of time that we spend on this is completely asinine. We're ripping people away from their families, from their jobs. Businesses and the economy are suffering because of this. And if you don't know, taxpayers pay more for one person to be incarcerated than it would take to send that person to college. This whole country is fucked up, and it's all about greed. They spell it out for you in black and white. What more do you need?